Hi, thank you for tuning in to Sweet Life Cooking. I'm Natasha, and today I'm back at it with a recipe for my Thai-inspired coconut peanut chili ribs. These ribs are very easy to make, but just a little bit different to switch things up. You get a little bit of sweet from the coconut, a bit of earthiness from the peanuts, savory flavors from some of the other ingredients that we add in, as well as just a hint of spice from the chili. It all comes together for a very interesting combination of flavors. These ribs are a great addition to your summer barbecue. Let's get into it. So now then, we're going to just make a very simple marinade. And it's going to start with just a bit of ginger. And this I'm just putting into like the cup of a mini blender. So this should work out to being about like a few tablespoons of ginger, a bit of lemongrass. And this I'm just going to use some kitchen shears to cut into the blender cup. We'll blend it up, but it'll just help to make it a little bit easier on the blender. So I got a little bit more here. Garlic, add a little bit more then. Some garlic chili sauce. Now you can leave that out if you don't like spice, or you can adjust according to your liking. A little bit more garlic chili sauce. You can also use fresh chilies, but I like the flavor of garlic chili sauce and I like the convenience of it as well. In comparison to like some other pepper sauces, I like it because it has a good amount of flavor and it's not just like hot heat. It doesn't have like that heavy vinegar taste to it that you get in some hot sauces. I think it's like the perfect combination of heat and flavor. To this, I'm gonna add some coconut water, a few tablespoons of soy sauce. Bearing in mind that you don't want to overdo it with the soy sauce because I've already partially seasoned the meat. And then last but not least, just for a hint of sweetness, a bit of honey. So with this, we'll get some savory, some sweet, a little bit of heat from the ginger. It'll all come together really nicely. Pop the lid on that. Give it a shake. But sometimes like the ginger is pretty fibrous. And there we have our marinade. Okay, and so now then, here I washed the ribs with some vinegar, rinsed and drained them, and then seasoned them simply with some seasoning salt, black pepper, blended seasoning. And to that, I'm just going to add the marinade. And I'm just going to make sure that I get it all over the meat. Just rub it down really nicely, and that's it. And this I'm going to allow to marinate for about 6 to 8 hours or so. Overnight is fine. In a pinch, you could just like marinate it and leave it for a half hour, but I would recommend letting it sit for at least a few hours to get very well seasoned. Alright, so I'm going to just zip the top of this. Squeeze out the air. So you can see like the liquid fills it up as I squeeze out the air. Fold it over. And then just pop that back into the fridge to sit for several hours. Here I have just a sheet pan which I've greased with a little bit of oil. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And all I'm going to do now is put my slab of baby back ribs on this sheet pan and put it into the oven. So, there we go. And it's actually like just the size to fit on the pan. Any bigger and it wouldn't have. We would have had to like cut it in half. But there we go. This I'm going to cover with another piece of foil and then just put into the oven. But first I'm just going to wash my hands. So here I have just another piece of foil. And this is now going to go into a 350 degree oven. So I preserved some of the marinade and I just put it on the stove, let it come to a boil, cook for quite a while, and then I put it through a fine mesh sieve or like strainer. And so that helped me to get like the fibrous material from the ginger and the lemongrass out of there. So now we just have liquid. But I'm going to take this from just being a rather thin liquid to being more of, if you think of a regular barbecue sauce. And so in keeping with our flavors, I'm going to add a bit more than a tablespoon of peanut butter, some ketchup, some honey, just a little bit of mustard. Right? And now this is actually far more mellow in flavor than what we marinated the pork in. I'm going to go with a little bit more honey. And now then this, I'm going to just brush over the meat. And this is just going to go back into the oven. It's almost there, but not quite. Still needs a little bit more time, but well on its way. You can see the meat is getting there. Just spoon a little bit of that over and back into the oven. Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and check out my cooking at home playlist. Go ahead and click that thumbs up button if you like what you saw, and go ahead and share it on social media.